One map up and another map to come. It's Inferno up next as we take a little dive over to Liquid's map choice. Vince, do you think, like Maui Snake, that this map in particular could still bode well for ZPG? I know you don't know them too well, but tell me what you saw. Tell me what you feel, my man.
I mean, based off that performance, honestly, no. But we did think Vertigo was a bit of an odd decision.
Sure.
I think Inferno may play into the wheelhouse a little bit more, being able to go in for a bit more aggression. I feel like it will be closer. I can't see it being a bloodbath again, but I really do feel like Liquid are taking the 2-0 here, Scrawny. It's hard for me to go against them after what I just saw.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair opinion, and I think it's mine as well, Vince. I'll let you speak for me, but only this time. I don't know what else you've got to say. Team Liquid to the T side, of course, and ZPG stacking up on a early. 4 players there. A little bit of a flirt with the top of Banana, but not too much from Infinite here. He's going to be that solo B-hold, and it looks like Liquid, they're going to pace themselves. You don't want to gas out too quick.
Absolutely. You know, it's one of those kind of plays as well that could force any utility that ZPG have out of them. If they have those early smokes put down, throwing those early HEs, those early flashbangs, allowing Liquid to just tsunami their way over the site later on. However, it seems like they are going to bide their time, but in doing so, they're potentially walking into a 4-player stack. As far as the CTs are concerned, it doesn't get much better than this, and that's a huge grenade. Grim, Nafly, and Twist all feeling the brunt of it, but Twist just rips straight out and gets 2 headshots before Zelsis and Cooper put down 2 of their own. It's a 3v3, but now the T's are starting to struggle. They're being submerged. Twist picks up his third and his 4th kill. He has 4 HP left, but the quad's there, and there's the ace as well. Oh my god.
Russell Van Dulken coming in with all 5 Glock shots. Man steamrolled Dazzle inside of the graveyard. Then he turns around and uses his corpse to stand his ground. Just peppering shots into the back of that bomb site, jumping over Vince behind tall box with like 5 points of health as he had to get the reload. It was ZPG on for the team ace, and Team Liquid, with Twist most notably, just shuts it all down. His reward, an AK-47 here in the second round. We've got the MAC-10s, the the Galil across for the other boys of Liquid, but Twist just coming in, Super Saiyan mode, straight out the gates here on Inferno.
That's got to be a demoralizer as well if you're ZPG, because I kind of touched on this. In terms of a setup, they couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Oh, it was glorious.
A 4-player stack with a huge HE on top of it, and you still lose. And it's all to 1 man. How do you justify that?
Liquid. Nice to have you back, boys. Deep smoke, Vince. Goes over top of the A site. That's going to put a little bit of pressure on Cooper, on Arch. He calls for maybe some support, but they don't move much. ZPG actually removing their feet from inside of the B bomb site, chilling in their spawn. This is one of those situations where I feel like, you know, if they commit to B, you're not going to stop it. So just move what you've invested into the 3rd round where you would normally just have your USPs. And if Infinite has to die, Infinite has to die.
Full Drogo. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. It's the some of us are just the rounding errors. Zelsis, he's posted up though. Gonna have a bit of vision over top of the smoke. Sees Grim, takes his head clean off his shoulders. Nap gonna respond back through smoke, and smoke is the name of the game. Keeps coughing, blocked off, shots still piercing through it, damage being done. Elige confidently peeks back to deal with the flanker, and now it's that 4v3. CTs, just get out of here. Like we said, you know, hold on to what you can, realize this round is gone, and that's the exact situation that unfolds here. So potentially 3 counter-terrorists to survive with their deagles, potentially damage to be done in the next round, but certainly a second one here for Liquid early.
Yeah, they managed to bypass the very banana peel they slipped on Vertigo. They won the first pistol. It was a deagle 4-spy on the T side. They ended up losing it. They ended up getting overran and downtrodden. That's not going to be the same this time. Liquid comfortably get the round. As you say, though, 3 players do survive, so they can have a bit of firepower at their disposal. So ZPG cannot be underestimated. Liquid going to be holding on to a MAC-10 and the UMP, so it does give them that aggression if they so choose to just try and burst into a bomb site. And at least CPG, they're getting some kills. They're at least keeping themselves somewhat warm. Sure, a lot of those rounds on Vertigo, especially when full rifles came into both sides of the equation, it was brutal. It was difficult to watch, as is that Molotov, by the way. That's the grim one from Twist.
Player break this, player break that. I gotta warm up a little. Damn gravity.
We'll let you off this time, Twist, because you got the ace in the first round, all right? But that's your one. Now we're even.
Are we throwing Twist under the bus? I thought it was a liege.
Was it? Oh,
damn,
my
Vince.
goodness.
What do you got against the guy? He aced in the pistol. Now you're trying to talk a little yams. What's going on?
I'm sorry, Twist. I'm garbage. I'm old.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's really sleeping. Yeah. Little Deagle crossfire, Vince. It's deadly. Big Cooper with the Deagle scoopers got himself a couple kills. The smoke is now what meets them. Twist. No deaths just yet. And looking to maybe redeem himself for missing a molly he never threw. Smoke grenade goes over to the B site. And Zelsis, I mean this with affection, you rat. He's sitting inside of it with a Zeus, Vince. You love to see it, but not when it comes up empty-handed.
I can respect it, man. Like, you know that there's very little can potentially go your way in this round, but ultimately, Liquid systematically shutting down arches, and Nafly also dips in with the UMP. A site is barren, courtesy of Twist's frag on Tamaki, and that does leave the aforementioned Zelsis scurrying his way down Banana with the Zeus. Exit frag really is the best possible outcome here for him. The round is done. It's going to be 3-0, but at least ZPG have some guns to fall back on. This is where we're going to get a taste of how their rifle rounds are going to come into fruition, because let's be honest, on Vertigo, it was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, I think you can label it that. That's fine. It's a bit of a shame for ZPG this round that they weren't able to get their hands on that AK, but let's see the Zeusis. No, sir. It's denied by Twist. Still, this man seems unkillable. 8-0 in the first 3 rounds of Inferno, which, if Grim was going to be the shining star in the uncertainty of Vertigo, that first map he came in, they gave him the space he needed. It's like, all right, kid, kill him. And now Twist is showing that it's not going to be easy to take over the top spot of Team Liquid. The talent runs deep on North America's most accomplished roster still. Yeah, that's still range true. Maybe not the best at the moment, again, but those online struggles, Vince, those were months ago. This could be the fresh face. Regardless, put all that outside the head. It's the gun round, baby. We've got that op on Cooper, infinite damaged early. Dwindling utility already, and a little bit of presence here from Grim. He wants the top of Banana, and it'll be given to him. Once more, we have ZPG favoring that A-site defense.
They have been battered, though, and bruised. Infinite 17, Zelster 65. Twist is immortal. He is a god amongst men right now. 8-0, yet to die. ZPG will be hoping they can make that god bleed, at least momentarily. But now Liquid decide better of that A decision, and they go back towards B. 2 players here. Cooper with the AWP alongside Zelsis. Lack of utility on Zelsis, but Cooper does have a little bit to play with. But with him taking the first point with the AWP, it's unlikely he's going to be able to get a smoke out here. So he's going to be locked into position behind the pillar, and he goes down, and with him a ton of the utility. As ZPG had at their disposal, there is a late flank from Twists, and they line up for a Marquee at Infinite. I've been silenced in Library, and now Dazzle, last man standing, knows Twists just round the corner, should get the freebie and trade up to the AK-47. But in terms of the round, this should be another done deal.
Absolutely. Twists, he came into this round with 253 ADR. Gets at least 2 kills with him, so going to try to keep those numbers strong. But Alige has the back of Dazzle almost. A little final duel maybe to wrap up round number 4 here. And it's not going to go the way of ZPG at all. So Alige loses half health, but closes this one down. 4-0 the start for Team Liquid. Feeling out that banana control at the beginning of the round, Vince, for completely free, just really eases Liquid into that side of the map. And I feel like if, they've got a track record of what the CTs have been up to, it's been that heavy A stack early. So they still walk into the 2-man hit, but as you said, Cooper, he had the op up and he had the utility that he could have used. Didn't actually get a chance to throw it all down because of the flash, made him uncomfortable. He had that slim pillar for cover. Not what you necessarily need. Utility being dropped, bombs bombarding the top of Banana, and we have counter-terrorists kind of flirting with the peak. Celsius and Infinite this time around. P250s in their hands, trying to make this connection happen. They've also got a smoke and a flash, so they could definitely take a fight on their own timing, on their own accord, but that fight they were looking for seems to have walked away.
They did get some of that utility out of ZPG, so they are bleeding that stone dry. And now Liquid looking to throw a few of their own over onto A. Smoke lined up, tossed onto Arches. Cooper is there with a Deagle. 3-player stack right now will become 4 momentarily once Celsius gets there, but Cooper comes in with a Deagle. He goes for 1-for-1. Marky's also chipped in with a kill on Grim. But here comes Twist. He is moving into Library, and he is going to be dispatching of Dazzle, Zelsis, Marky, both perched on the site. Marky goes down. Zelsis going to bide his time behind the boxes. Is this an angle that goes unchecked, goes unturned, and that stone is thrown through the windshield of the oncoming truck of Liquid, and Zelsis may be the man to mount up that comeback, or perhaps not. Twist shuts him down with a 3K, and now Infinite with 19 HP got to try and clutch a 1v1.
Oh, and he's not even going to play the bomb. He's going to hunt down the kill, and Infinite's going to get caught off guard. A headshot to close as Twists keeps the show going, pulling one out of thin air. He was all the way back in pit, so prepared for the post-plant, Vince, but of course, we had that play by Zelsis try and throw a wrench in the works. Twist ignores the bomb. He headhunts instead, and he takes it. 221 ADR, 5 rounds deep. 14 kills, 1 death. If they thought they had their hands full with Grim and Stewie last map, well, I introduce you to Russell Van Dulken.
So they got a brisk introduction in that pistol round. They're familiar with the back of his hand. He just clapped them all across the face. And now CPG 5-0 down, deja vu. They'll be thinking, oh no, Vertigo was bad. Is this about to become worse? Are we about to get humiliated further yet? And this is the terrifying thing of Liquid. Before Grim even came into the picture, they were always a team, Scrawny, that had 4 or 5 players in their roster that were just all lights out. Like, we haven't even seen what Elige is capable of yet today. Like, that's the mad part of this. Like, Elige hasn't, it's not like he's had a bad game. He's just not been needed.
Nope. Imagine being able to keep him in your back pocket until times get tough. Hell, even Nafly, I would argue, has kind of just been doing his job. Just showed up for work, and it's not every day that you change the game. Sometimes it's just easy sailing, and so far, so good. But we get a little sizing of that Banana. We had Infinite kind of flirting around the sides of it, so for a moment he felt safe, but clearly that little bit of presence calls Zelsis back into the action. There is an open route through Arch with 30 seconds left. Dazzle, he gets aggressive in the apartments. There's Elige. He's going to drop that first frag, and Cooper yet again just playing with slim cover. He's got a teammate in Marky posted up in that deeper corner. Cooper tries to get the kill. He connects for the first one. He follows up with damage, but down he goes. Elige tries to lend the helping hand, and through the smoke, he nails it. 2 kills for Elige. Bomb plant down. A 6th round for Liquid, inevitably.
ZPG, maybe now's the time to call a timeout. If nothing else, if you don't have any grand plans, again, it's a team that literally has just been put together with Dazzle stepping in for Android. But just to maybe calm things down a little bit, try and get a read, try and figure out what's been going wrong, because these rounds have gone by so fast that before they know it, ZPG could easily be 10-0 down. And at that point, the round, the half, the map, the match may be already done. So maybe just try and stall this a little bit longer and try and figure out what to do next, because this is getting out of control.
Yeah, for sure. Take a pause, boys. Take a pause. You got them. You got them in abundance. But listen, seeing as they just found their 5th player, Vince, maybe they don't have the coach to give them. There she goes. A little pause here. ZPG, take a breath. Figure out how the hell are you going to stop this man? 14-1 is Twist. 6 kills on Elige is the 2nd best for Liquid. So very much a one-man army for the opening 6 rounds here. Of course, we bring up our scoreboard for you guys to take a bit of a gander at the ADRs. Twist and Elige a little bit top-heavy. And nobody with the triple digits for the side of Pug Godz.
Yeah, it makes for pretty grim reading, doesn't it? It's not ideal. Utility damage. I didn't even mean that pun. I'm not gonna lie. I said it. I thought, oh man.
Yeah, good one, Vince.
Like unintentionally cringy, you know.
It happens, man. It happens. I mean, you know, here's the thing. You never cast the guy before. You know, sometimes we've been using words for eons, and then next thing you know, they're on the banned list. But here's an opening kill, Vince. Elige, he's got one early.
There you go. Moves on to the 7 kills. Still only half of what Twist has mustered up. Goes to show you how ridiculous his opening has been. But the Pug Godz, hot off the back of their tactical timeout, doesn't seem like there's any magic. They've dipped into the hat, and nothing was home to pull out. No aces up the sleeve. Perhaps there's going to be a late turnaround in this round. The ZPG stacking 2 players on B. Inferno going to join. He does have one of the 2 M4s, so at least the arsenal of weaponry is in the right place to try and thwart and push back the players. A wide swing from Grim with a nade out is going to cost him his life, but Elige going to be putting Cooper down in his place. And the 2 CTs on the wrong side of the site, stuck behind the smoke, isolated and segregating from being able to stop this plant. Or perhaps I spoke too soon. They're going to boost up. And Nafly will be asking some questions of his teammates to let him die. But now Twist on the long con is flanking around the back, and he could be a couple moments away from securing another frag. It looks like Dazzle's going to be a goner momentarily. There we go. And that leaves Marky left on Coffins. Apt, as he's been put 6 foot under. And Liquid, 7-0 lead. And honestly, Scrawny, have any of these rounds looked even close? Other than a pistol, maybe.
No. No, I don't think they have, Vince. I do not think they have. There's been like moments of uncertainty. Let's say like when they walked into Cooper's Deagle at the top of mid brackets, you know. But then even when we've gotten kind of Team Liquid tested, they still just bounce right back under that pressure. So let's see if this double op setup between Cooper and Zelsis can get the job done. We get the little 2-man boost for the mid peak, and it's successful. Elige, he's gonna get taken out of this one early. This could very well lend a helping hand to Liquid. They're gonna go for the banana control. 3 defensive players in position, off included. Zelsis gets pressured, Dazzle gets the kill, and it's a man advantage up for the defense.
This is maybe where that Vertigo reputation is going to precede Grim, because he pushed that Molotov, which is a bit of an awkward angle, and they were there to stop him. Stewie's now been picked up, but it is Cooper with the AWP, so he knows there's going to be no automatic fire. Cooper's going to have to pull back and re-engage, and in doing so, Liquid make the most of that momentary lapse in defense. Cooper back out again. Nafly missing his shot. This surely is going to be the Pug Godz first round. They have got to capitalize on this. Liquid are vulnerable. They are ripe for the taking. You've got 2 AWPs. They need to survive realistically with 4 of these players left. With all players, that's exactly what they've done. That's what we needed to see. And ZPG at least get 1 step forward. They've got to make sure they don't trip over, though.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like when they had openings on Vertigo, Vince, it was more often than not met by more resistance in those follow-up rounds. So double op setup pays off. Cooper, 3 kills to his name in the 1-round win for ZPG. So they keep both those ops up. Again, Zelsis, he kind of had his overs towards Banana early on. Cooper goes for a faster setup on mid as opposed to the boost. He gets his eyes up early, and nobody's there to meet him just yet. Stewie better be cautious he doesn't back up too much, and so instead, he moves forward. He's going to take a lot of damage, though. Half of his health, more than half, in fact, already gone to the utility. Zelsis ready for the peak. This could get Infinite into a deeper position, especially with grenades being thrown down.
That Molly may not extend far enough to trouble Stewie, and in doing so, this could bait Infinite into a false sense of security. I think he assumed it as a spread, and that's going to cost him his life. At least the Pug Godz have Zelsis there to punish Stewie afterwards, but you can see these small, tiny, incremental mistakes can cost so much.
Yeah, that's a lapse of judgment there. You know, like even extending a bit too far, he had his grenades out. So like he was taking that risk, Stewie could have peeked. And then he decides to run back instead of facing the direction someone could chase, knowing he made sound. Again, knife out, dies. Just not expecting Liquid to pounce, but they will. And Cooper, well, he catches one in a pounce attempt. A second shot connects. Grim down low. Marky in from pit with a couple of kills of his own. But Nafly's looking to trade this one back in the 1 versus 3. He nearly gets footing on the bomb site, but it's Dazzle to shut it down. And we've got the defense with a second round. Not a second round at the end of the half either, Vince. An actual conversion. 2 in a row for the challengers, for the underdogs. Again, that op paying off. And they're going to keep the 2 snipers set up again here in the 10th.
Yeah, it's so important when you're this far behind and you know that economy could play a pivotal role. Even if you do start winning a bunch of rounds, the T's going to have max round loss bonus. And of course, it's cheaper for them to keep replenishing. So you know you've got to post up not only a few rounds, but you've got to do it convincingly. Cooper with some huge impact with that open middle. And he has been moving around in a lot of different angles here. Stewie in the same position as last round where he took a ton of damage. Not going to get any early grenades this time down Banana or ZPG. Instead, they're playing a little bit more statically. Zelsis going to be moving around the corner alongside Infinite. There's no players really home apart from Grim, and he's holding more of a flanking angle to try and get some information and be a bit of an interference nuisance player. And Infinite's going to go aggressively. Scrawny, this could make or break the round. If he gets the frag onto Grim here, he turns around with the flashbang. That's a big kill, and now he can fall back. They've got what they were looking for. Don't overextend.
Yeah, he looks away from the player, knowing that flashbang's about to pop. He is, very scared in that moment. Drops the smoke for Zelsis to retreat. T is taking that space happily. That bomb's still on the forefront with Stewie 2K. Gonna get ZPG moving a player over. Cooper all the closer with that op in hand. So 2 of the 3 defenders here on the B bomb site wielding the big green. Zelsis connecting onto Stewie, and through the smoke he'll take Nav. Now he repositions. He's got a little bit of cover. Welcomes the 3rd peak. It's a trio of frags, a quad for Zelsis. He shuts it all down as they haphazardly walk down into that B site. No entry allowed.
Hugely important round for Pug Godz. Of course, they're still up against it, make no mistake, but that's going to build their economy nicely. But more importantly, it cuts Liquids down to size. They were booming at a few players at $10,000. Now they're forced into a couple of players on pistol with armor. Nafly's got a Glock. They've really turned things around, but those grenades are huge. Zelsis gets exploded and one of the ops goes with him.
Good call out. Very nicely done. Team Liquid, I think, kind of sensing that the CTs were getting a little more and more confident with their B setups. We had players, a little too adventurous at times. If Team Liquid could rob back around with this type of a buy, that would be a grueling spot for ZPG to be in. Marky, he's yet again at bat, dropping bodies off of the side of the A site, but here comes Grim. 2 kills already on him, 3 more to go. And he gets that post plant as well. Now, these are the sorts of situations where diamonds can be made in the rough. Frag grenades go over top. Not a problem for Grim. He's committed to small pit, and he welcomes them to walk inwards here. He's going to be a bit of a nuisance in this position. Tries to shave one off. Hits the damage. Down goes Marky. There's his second duel. Grim. Oh, he takes them all. 3 kills in the post plant. An eco ace for Grim.
Holy. That is absolutely absurd. And you can scratch everything that I said on the lead up to that round about how they managed to really muster up these 3 rounds and build their economy, and Liquid were on the rocks. Grim has just capsized ZPG with that play. That's utterly ridiculous. That should be criminal. How have ZPG lost that?
Welcome to the big leagues. He is a star in the making. Awesome play over towards the pit. Just excellent timing on finding each of those duels one by one, and just great rifle work. I mean, that's the thing with Grim, man. The man can shoot an M4, Vince. He could shoot an AK. He could seemingly do a lot. And it's a revitalized Liquid here today. This is not the same type of energy we saw when they kind of limped out of their last few events before the player break. Grim, he is feeling fired up. But Zelsis, he's going to cool him off ever so slightly. Shuts that down towards Banana. Cooper, he's going to take a bit of a tumble here towards A short. This will get that rotation moving ever so slightly. Dazzle, he's buying time in library. A single defender committed to site. It's Marky in the shadows.
Elige lit up by the grenade. And in comes Twist. He started this half so well. And now it's his turn at a potential 1v3. RZPG gonna choke 2 of these in a row. There's still some time. Twist doesn't have to fully bite down on this A play. He must assume that Zelsis, who is typically one of the B players, keep that in mind, and you better believe Twist will know that, is going in for that rotation. And now he decides, okay, look, I can play some mind games here. I've got time to go for the rotation. If I can get a post plant on B and make a move, this round now favors me from being up against it. And Zelsis not budging an inch. He's still assuming this is going to be an A-centered play, and now he's about to realize that was incorrect. Twist moving in. Which angle does Zelsis come in from? He's going through on the CT side. So Twist in this close angle, it's going to come down to reaction speed. It's going to come down to potential pre-fire. He can hear the footsteps. He knows Zelsis just around the corner, but he misses the spray. If you'd asked me if he clutches that with the start, I would have said yes. He was on 14-1 at one point, but Zelsis keeps the dream alive.
Yeah, Zelsis just sprints on over. He knows he has to pull it off. He knows it's not going to get any easier as that bomb ticks on. But I feel like he just plays a little bit around with Twist's head there. You know, he sprints over, falls silent. Twist waits just a moment. Where's that silence got him off to? Goes for the wide swing and exposes himself. Just a weird offset crosshair type situation. If Zelsis even sprints around that turn, then I feel like for sure Twist just gets the headshot timing. But it's not meant to be. ZPG with a 4th round on the board here. Still Team Liquid doubled up. 8 to their name, but not many guns in this one, Vince.
No, they are really dipping down onto the pistols. Grim also getting wrecked early on. He's going to have to bide his time in tunnel instead. But what a game we've had, Scrawny. It's not necessarily been the pristine Counter-Strike. We weren't really expecting it, let's be honest, but it's been incredibly entertaining.
Vince, that's what I mean, you know, bringing you on over here for our North American endeavors, dude, this is what I was hoping we could give you. Now, it's a little bit later for you than it is us over here. And we got to keep you bright and sparkly. Got to keep that shine in your eye, Vince. I don't need NACS grabbing another victim. Utility dwindling. Tease ever closer to the arch side. Marky, he's just going to be pinned in behind this slim tree. He waits. Infinite waits not. Goes down to the bottom of mid. Picks up that first kill here versus just the pistols. Marky takes that second. So it's an all in on the A site, and Cooper's had enough. 3rd kill is his. Easy anti-eco this time around.
I've got to give credit where it's due here, Scrawny. ZPG were getting obliterated. It was 7-0. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh no, we're going through the motions again. They've won 5 out of the last 6 rounds, and one of those rounds, of course, was the grim, ridiculous 1v3 clutch. This could have been 6 in a row, and a lot of these have been rifle rounds. So fair play, ZPG. You're up against it, but you've shown great tenacity. And can they go in for more? It's aggression as the 2 armies clash down Banana. And it's all going the way of ZPG. Zelsis with 2. Natfly's been tagged down to 74. He has to turn tail and get back onto the T-steps. And the carnage has all gone the way of the CTs. What a turnaround this has been.
Yeah, you attempt to cage a ravenous beast, and all of a sudden it starts clawing back. I would have never expected myself, and therefore I don't think Liquid do either. ZPG cranking the dial to that degree so early on here at the end of the half. You said it, right? 7-0 start. They look like they were just going to kind of limp away from this series, but now they're giving us something to talk about, and I feel like that confidence is coming back. They've got nothing to lose. This is their opening game. They're going to be playing against, opponents of, I would say, a closer caliber once this best of 3 is done for, regardless of who wins. The group is just more towards their favor as time goes on. And so go ahead, man. Try your best. Give it their damnedest. Make Team Liquid sweat. Let's see if Elige comes out from the woodwork. Let's make them dig deep and really have to hustle here for the 2-0 they'd hope for. But not everybody's got a gun here for Team Liquid as they close out their T side. As you said, a fantastic start. And a lot of it, I think, comes down to Twist. Some of those late round alerts were just ridiculous. And that's what he does. That's what he does so well. And I feel like with the individual fall off of Twists, kind of at the start of this year, a fall off that he himself very openly spoke about, right? He's a very self-critical person for a good reason. He knows he is talented and he has the capacity to be one of the greats. So It's nice to see him playing still the same style of CS and doing it well. At least here on our opening day of DreamHack Summer 2020 NA.
Things gone to a bit of a standstill in this round. We've seen so many aggressive, in-your-face confrontations. This time it's been slowed down. It's going to be a full-on execute. It's going to be the set play, forcing away Zelsis. That Molotov's not going to extend far enough to force him outside of New Box, but Infinite has been drilled into his head from Stewie2K, picking up only his third kill of the map, but then that fly shuts him down with the Mac-10. An awkward team kill propagated by flashbangs. Real confusion landing amongst the ranks, and now it's a 2v3 in favor of the Pug Godz.
Oh.
It's all down to Elige. They've seen all of the bosses in this raid, but they've yet to meet Elige, who comes out with that Eagle, gets the first kill, 1 bullet left in the magazine, but the time is going to run against him, and Liquid will be conceding a 7th. An unbelievable turnaround.
Absolutely that. You know, it's still close and it's still their lead, but that's where we leave it at the end of the first half. Join us after the break for the second side of Inferno.
Am I wasting time? 'Cause I'm already gone. So long, can you stay the night? 'Cause you're the thing I want. I know you're feeling different when you're stressed out, but even with no makeup you still stand out. 'Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now. Like you do now. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Late at night, I feel you on my skin. You're all that's on my mind. It's finally sinking in. You're it. I know you're feeling different when you're stressed out, but even with no makeup you still stand out. 'Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now. Like you do.
Thank you for your patience, and I hope you're ready, because the second pistol round of the second map between Liquid and the Pug Godz is coming at you hot. Infinite with the utility, Zelsis some nades to his name, and CT's stacked at the tip of banana out of the gates here in second pistol. Vince, we've got Infinite on a deep boost, just chilling for the time being. ZPG had a good pistol call out in that first half. Can they manage to continue the comeback with a bit of early momentum?
Well, the momentum has definitely been stacking up in their favor, considering that comeback, which was nearly flawless, barring a miraculous 1v3 clutch from Grim, and he's in the thick of it again, but Marquis steamrolling. They don't anticipate the third play there, and Nafly chips in with 2. He's going to get shut down eventually from Dazzle, but Nafly's done more than enough. he shared enough of that burden, and now it's down to Elige and Twist, 2 players you would be terrified to go up against. But maybe Dazzle's made the correct call, at the very least, to get a bomb plant. He also has a Molotov. This could be massive. A Molly post plant with no smoke in sight for Liquid. Let's see if that plays into this round. As Liquid now going to be moving together through Banana, and Dazzle may be there to greet them.
How does he make this one happen? He's got the apartment's control. Ooh, he hears the footsteps. He most certainly hears the footsteps. Is anybody going to come check him? No, sir. Now he has a chance to hit them from behind, to take them by surprise. First man taps bomb. Twist goes down. Dazzle, he's thinking about going back in. But again, that Molotov, that's going to buy just enough time to ensure he wraps back around towards Balk. Now, Elige, he knows this. He goes for the fight. Dazzle, up close, makes the perfect play. Time, the name of the game, as ZPG takes second pistol, tying the game at 8.
I love that he kept that Molotov in the 1v2. He didn't throw it to try and fake onto the B side. He wanted to hold on to it for that reason, for that purpose. And it just so happened that Liquid didn't have a kit, which made it that little bit more powerful. And that does mean, Scrawny here, that the last 9 rounds are effectively 8-1 in favor of ZPG. It was 7-0. It's now gone 8-1. That is absolutely absurd. And Liquid have forced in apart from Nafly. So you're fancying more of the same from the T's.
We're starting to get to that point where, like, you know, we haven't really touched on it, Vince, but we're going to have to take note of the fact that, like, the map 1 was all Stewie and Grim, and this map began with Twist at the top of the show. We have Stewie and Naf at 5 or less kills as we sit 17 rounds deep. So, yeah, there's enough here for Team Liquid, but it's going to, I'd say, take that team effort, kind of everybody to chip in if we're going to see this Team Liquid win on their own map choice. But there's still plenty of time. Let's be real. They're on the defensive half. ZPG, yeah, they're in the driver's seat, but the course, the track, it's about to get real windy. There's cliffs and there's chances for them to topple. There's a moment here where there could be driver's error, but it all comes down to what Liquid throw at them and when. It shouldn't be now. Of course, it's the force buy. They're going to have to buy time if they don't win with this one, but only time will tell, and ZPG are going to play it. Just down to the 40-second mark, spread across the map, trying to size up an opening here.
Yeah, I mean, to carry on your beautiful analogy, this is, you know, there's a few pebbles on the road with these pistols and this Kevlar. There's no huge rocks just yet, but they will be on the horizon. However, those pebbles maybe can unwheel this push as it is into a stack. And Nafly is going to put down this EZ in range of Zelsis. Grim comes in with a 5-7, and there's Stewie 2K. The bloodshed is real, but ZPG have just enough time to get this plant down. That being said, though, it's a 2v2 retake, but both players 1 bullet away from death, and Elige ripping through. As here comes the spray, and Dazzle for the second time in a row 1v2s, and gets a 4K to boot.
My man, Dazzle, doing what he has to. Taking to the top of the box, dealing with Naf, dropping Stewie, and finishing versus the same 2 players he had just bested in the clutch. And this time, it's not because of Lady Luck. It's not because of Father Time. No, sir, it's just Dazzle who gets them both dead to rights there, Vince. 4 kills for him in that conversion versus the force buy, leaving Liquid strapped for cash here in the 18th round. Now we've got ZPG for the first time with a lead here on Inferno. I want to say, you know, barring the first 5 rounds of Vertigo, the first real lead of the series, man. The first time I can unarguably say, like, round count, sure, maybe they've had it, but this is momentum.
No, I completely agree with you. I echo that statement. This feels like ZPG right now are in the driver's seat. I mean, there's no getting away from that. And sure, Liquid making them sweat in that last round, keeping their economy honest, but they've got 3 MAC-10s and they're up against, by and large, an eco team. Yeah, they've got some pistols in there, but there's no Kevlar, there's no grenades behind it, which is going to allow these MAC-10s to get up close and personal that much easier. Double stack, double spray, and Dazzle, the new recruit, stepping up when it's required. Cooper, simple, straightforward frag onto Stewie. And ZPG, a flawless round to clean sweep away the 10th. And it'll be interesting to see how many of these MAC-10 players keep it if they want to run this as a bonus round.
Yeah, go for it. Have a little fun with it. You know, if they're in the driver's seat at this moment, they're in that Burger King parking lot, Vince. They're doing donuts. They're doing burnouts. They're just having a blast. And they're just going to go ahead and throw this one, throw caution to the wind, and just see what sticks. Flashbangs over the top of Banana as those MAC-10s look to close the distance as rapidly as possible. Stewie 2K on the other side eats nade damage. It's a tough spot to be in. Frags go back. And negligible at best. Infinite ready. And, well, the rest of his team just a couple steps behind him, but they hold off for a moment. I think they've gotten close enough to maybe scare the defense, shake things up a bit, they'd think. In reality, everyone for Liquid stands strong.
The only concern is Liquid lacking 3 head armors, which is where the MAC-10s will really shine. No kits either. But Liquid do have more than enough utility and firepower to keep ZPG at arm's reach. They're going to want to close that gap. They're going to use smokes. They're going to use flashbangs to mitigate some of that power and that potential and allow the SMGs to get rolling. Dazzle, the man of the last few rounds with the AK-47, hiding in middle with Cooper. It's the 3 MAC-10s in unison. And it's the spearhead of this point. They're going to try and push in together. It will be through a smoke, though, if they're going to go in right now. And there's a slight gap. This is where Twist should be good to land some frags. There's one. And now the AWP of Nafly going to start to ring out with a couple of its own. Elise shipping in. And it's a massacre. But, again, it was a bonus round, Scrawny, so I'm not going to look too much into that. ZPG going to have a full buy behind that.
Yeah, sure enough. You know, just really, really good timing there on the plays of Team Liquid. We see Twist, who has to go first, commits to the spray down. It looks wild, but for all he knows, 3T's hard commit to just running past him. Then Naf, he takes one. He plucks a man off short, and then it was Elish who had bought his time, rather. He waits, and then just cleans it all up, peppering and plucking them off to the side of balcony, ensuring that, you know, they don't take any heavy losses. Team Liquid, if we want to call that the bonus for ZPG, well, Team Liquid made the most of that bonus. They got their check too, Vince. Keeping 4 alive. We've got that op on NAF. Money handsomely starting to stack up around them. Stewie on the 2.6K. Just hanging out for the moment as we've got ZPG with everything on the line. Their lead is on the line. Their momentum is on the line. But they have been able to string this together for long enough. Hopefully for ZPG, that last round is just an anomaly. Blame it on the MAC-10s, move forward, real crisp with headshots like that.
That's certainly one way that you keep moving forward with the executioner of Infinite, who just dips out, lands a freebie, not taking a single point of health in his endeavors. And now cracking open A. Both CTs playing together. Nafly nearly gets the collapse as they double peek him. Smoke down into the pit. He wants to stay alive as long as possible. Slight gap in the smoke, but now the flash is going to be pretty solid. Grim comes in with an even trade with Marquis. Stewie 2K decides that B side will be vacant for the rest of this round, and that is the correct assumption as the T's are starting to congregate and push together as a united force. Out they come onto the site. Nafly still perched in pit. They must realize this position is tenable. They must realize this is going to be a threat, but maybe that threat's going to be worth nothing. The rest of his teammates are dropping around him. Nafly's last man standing. It's the battle of the AWPers, and Nafly's going to get the upper hand. A 3K from pit, and Liquid ties up at 10 apiece.
Cool, calm, collected Canadian killer. Nafly standing inside of that pit, just buying time. Man's looking at his shoes, checking out his kicks as he waits for his teammates to try and come in. And props to Grim, he gets that wall bang on the player towards short. He's got low ammo in the magazine as he extends around onto the site, again, looking to create space for Nafly to strike. But like a viper, he waits, and then he swings out big. Home run for NAF to take Team Liquid onto their 10th. We're tied at double digits, and we have ZPG somewhere they haven't been for quite some time. The economic dumps. Deagles, a flash, a smoke, that's all they have to work with. And it's still majority Glocks at the end of the day, but maybe all you need is one. Infinite single shot hits the head, but here comes Elish looking to plug the hole. They all line up. Elish goes big. Easy anti-eco. Thanks to him. He swings as they thought they had a chance. They thought they had a hope, and he just takes it from their cold, dead hands.
Liquid regained the lead. It wasn't anti-eco, as he said, Scrawny, but you can only beat what's ahead of you, and Elige did it in style. That's going to be confidence rising. A player, again, that hasn't had a bad game. Don't get me wrong. He just hasn't really been required over the duration of this game, and now he is. Now they call upon Elige, and he answers that call. Stewie2K, he's had a very quiet game. That's his 6th kill, but he's starting to get in thick of it as well before he gets neutralized by Marky. An even trade, but the utility damage slightly in favor of Liquid. An off angle for Twist, not going to get checked as Nafly has his side covered from archers. Takes the shot, falls back. And ZPG struggling to really get a stranglehold over round 22. 3 players lumbering their way towards the B site with just Dazzle, who is now watching A alone. Going to be joining the rest of his teammates momentarily. They're going to be looking to peek one by one. They may not anticipate the boost, and now Grim takes the kill, falls back into Ruins. He's wanting to bide his time and wait for the rest of his team to get into position. Don't overextend, don't overpeak. Allow the plant to come in if you have to. You're in a 3v2 retake, and you have a bit of utility to play with.
Grim's going to try and keep eyes on the side of the Molotov. We've got Twist coming in deep from Banana. Once they know that's all clear, all sets of eyes fall to the back of this bomb site. 1 flash on each team, a decoy for Dazzle if needed. There's also the smoke on Twist to potentially stick bomb. Everybody's got a kit. 1 off, of course, on Naf. Molotov's thrown forward. That flushes Dazzle into the open where Naf's going to drop him, and Twist takes the head of Cooper too. So just clean execution on the retake. Sure, ZPG, they got that bomb down, Vince, but I don't think for a second Team Liquid felt flustered in that retake attempt. They had Grim deep, they knew where those keys were, and they even picked up the utility they needed to make it all the easier.
Yeah, I also love to see that play from Grim, man, because when you have these kind of newcomers, these onliners, as some people would call them, that come into a team that maybe lack the experience, that aren't quite the veterans, do they make the right decisions when they're under fire, when the pressure is mounting? Grim could have stayed up on boost. He could have wide swung and looked for a second kill, but instead he falls back to Ruins, as I said at the time, and knows that even if it's a post plant, they are still the favorites to take this round. Don't try and be a hero. Make sure you get the rounds where they count, because especially considering if they lost, that would be 11-11. Their economy would be in a bit of an awkward position. Grim made the correct read, and I love to see that from his perspective. ZPG not out of this just yet, though. They're going for a half buy, and it isn't going to include a Mac 10 of all weapons with some pistols. So we could be having a bit of drive-by action on our hands.
I'm down for that. Little pizzazz, little style, perhaps, here in the 23rd. We've got Molotovs being churned out at the top of Banana. Stewie2K falls back. And I like that you kind of allude to Grim's good actions in the side of construction last round, Vince, just because I did see a little bit of disjointedness, let's call it, between him and Stewie. When we had Stewie wrap around half wall on Banana, Grim was back behind a smoke. Stewie's trying to play with his nades to get out, and he was very much just left to his own devices. So that doesn't get punished fully. And here comes Grim, swinging the scythe from the back of that B bomb site. He gets himself the easy 3-piece. Zelsis all that's left now, and it's his flank that's in question. He tries to put some damage downrange, but a CZ with 10 shots and 5 CTs, you're done for. You're roasted. It's a 13th round for Liquid.
Yeah, that off-buy not quite paying off the way that ZPG had envisioned, but you can't really fault them when Grim just goes for a quad spray down, or triple spray down from the boxes, as you say. It was just pretty solid work, but now they have a full purchase ahead of them. They've got to convert this, otherwise Liquid going to have them against the ropes economically with a 14-10 lead. This could be a fulcrum point round. They've got to get this underway. There's going to be some action on Banana, barring some flashbangs, but a well-placed flashbang is going to neutralize the aggression, and both teams are going to be happy to call this a bit of a stalemate, which does allow ZPG to at least get a bit of banana control for themselves.
Creepy crawlers around the side of Banana. Nothing going to disrupt them until the utility falls in. And even then, the damage isn't quite there. No extensive chances being taken here by Liquid either, but Stewie and Grim not looking to shy away from this fight, so it seems. Grim, he's at bat, drops 2, loses Stu, but still is able to get himself behind the new box. There's a third from Grim, just piecing it all together. Looking to finish map 2 at the top of the scoreboard, perhaps, just like he did map 1. Smoke grenade goes over to block CT. Infinite, he can't find any opening. He can't find any targets to take, and he loses his head in the end. 24 frags for Grim as he survives with 5 HP.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable debutant here from Grim. Just straight up destroying. He ended the first map with what, 26, 27 kills, right? So he's on a 50 bomb for the series. And when you consider that Vertigo was a complete shutdown, that's absurd from Grim. Plus a 1v3 clutch. Like, could you ask for a better debut from a player than this?
Nope. And again, I'm kind of happy for that reason, that his debut's not versus, let's say, some of the top tier opponents that they're going to face later on in this tournament if they continue to win. You know, you want that warm up. Like I said, you know, I compared ZPG. They're like the Garden Goblins. They're not the raid boss. And so far, so good. Goblins still pack a punch, however. And don't forget, they were on the back foot when they made this magic happen just to get this far, but they're not going to find themselves any further. Liege with another anti-eco spray down here off Arch. Twist looks to finish it off, and he will take 2. 15 rounds for Liquid, 5 map and match points in the opener of Group A.
Well, there were some glimpses, Scrawny. There were some glimpses for ZPG to maybe, just maybe, take us to a third map, and it's still possible. It's still doable. We saw a crazy comeback from them. They showed grit, tenacity. They showed the spine in which to do it. But Liquid seemingly have awoken from their slumber, and they're not taking any prisoners. They're going to be pushing down middle. They want to finish this map off right here, right now. But Stewie, labored spray gets punished from Dazzle, who's had a pretty solid game himself. Marky sprays into a lesion. Grim comes back one more time. They're going to be pushing down Banana and trying to make the most of this situation, but they need to be careful they don't overextend, because there's still T's down there waiting for them. And Grim gets punished. Twist behind this. Oh, going to go for the spray. There's 2. And Dazzle may be the final to fall. This could be it done.
He has clutched these 1v2s before. It's this time Twists and Naf. On the potential other end, Dazzle loses a bit more health, but he got away with the bomb. Now, he has a minute on the clock. For sure, once Team Liquid realize that bomb's been taken, they have to contemplate the possibility of an A-hit. Twist, he's got his USP out. Worried that Dazzle lingers near. However, not quite clear what Dazzle's yet to get up to. Clearly working his way over towards the A bomb site. Naf not looking to give him a kill before any sort of a post plant. With these positions, if you are Liquid, you wait. You give him that bomb plant. You have to know he's damaged. And with 18 health, Dazzle is going to need some crisp headshots to close, but he's found an alternative route. The option to take CT is open. The option to drop Naf close is his, but it's an angle being held, and that's exactly where this one ends, folks. 16 rounds for Team Liquid, shutting down Map 2, taking their win on their pick, and doing it in stunning fashion. I say we all put our hands together and welcome Grim to the big leagues.
Yeah, congratulations, Grim. That's a hell of a debut. He finished on 51 kills in this best of 3. I want to say he was top of anybody. Twist probably the closest. He also landed 25 in this, but I've just got to say, like, Grim, that's about as good as the debut you could ask for. Sure, it wasn't against tier 1 opposition, and I mean no disrespect there at all to the Pug Godz. I think it's safe to say, especially with their own stand-in, but you can only beat what's ahead of you, and there were so many bright spots about Grim in that game. Like, he was sensational.
You've hit it on the head, Vince. I mean, that's everything you can really say about him here and now, but he will have tougher opponents and more opponents as the show goes on. That's right, it's day 1. And of course, that means we have another best of 3 coming up later. But first and foremost, we're going to throw this to the break, and the analysts will be near. So stay tuned, folks. It's DreamHack Open Summer 2020.